Hello everyone, Shazam here again with a new video. This time, I'm gonna be talking about the most underestimated character in the whole series, Jiraiya.
But Shazam, everyone knows Jiraiya is strong. What do you mean he's underestimated?
Yes, everyone knows he's powerful, but nobody knows how powerful he really is. Swakage. Let's start from the beginning. Jiraiya was a failure in his team, consisting of Orochimaru, Tsunade, and led by Hiruzen, the third Hokage. He was basically the Naruto of the group. He found Mount Yoboku and trained there his whole life, learned Sage Mode at some unknown point there, but I'd guess it was after the second Shinobi War, considering there were no toads or anything of that sort in the battlefield at the time, and Tsunade still didn't have her Byakugo. Jiraiya kept traveling cause the great sage told him he'd take a student who would either change the world through peace or destruction. It's funny how he's feared as a Sannin when he got that title along with the other two simply cause he lost a fight against Hanzo. After they survived the battle, they met the Rain Orphans. Jiraiya stayed with them and trained them on how to use ninjutsu. Among them was Nagato, who possessed the Rinnegan. After that he left and took Minato under his wing, the prodigy of his generation who would later be the fourth Hokage and the hero of the third Shinobi War. Orochimaru left the village. Jiraiya couldn't bring him back. He didn't want to fight, by the way. After Minato and Nagato's supposed death, Jiraiya trained Naruto, and that was also to protect him from the Akatsuki. I think his students speak for how great he was. Here comes the juicy part. Jiraiya was a master at intel gathering and tracking down someone like Orochimaru and found out about the Akatsuki and when they start moving. He was a master of infiltration and he infiltrated the Rain Village when it's basically impossible to get in just like that. He's a master of interrogation and abduction of any enemy who'd be useful for the village. Those are only the basic feats, but what about his skill in battle? I'm not gonna be lame and take every word without proof, but I'd use it as a supporting argument. Kisame knew that he stood no chance against Jiraiya, and when he asked Itachi, he said that at best, they'd both die, and adding backup wouldn't change the outcome. When he went for Pain, he defeated Conan in a minute. It wasn't a long fight, so we can't take it as it is, but it is saying something. And then Pain admitted that it would have been impossible for him to win had Jiraiya known his secret. So I don't know what to tell you guys. If it was a statement or two, then sure, ignore it. But 3 and another fight? But sure, I'll leave that for another video. When Jiraiya was drugged, he could barely move. At that time, Orochimaru told Kabuto to go and kill Shizune. Kabuto, who's a freaking medical ninja, saw how Jiraiya couldn't move and still thought it would be a dumb idea to approach him. The same Kabuto, who's Kakashi level, the one who beat Shizune and almost beat Tsunade. She was crippled, but still. In that fight, Jiraiya could use neither his chakra nor his physical abilities to their fullest, possibly not even half as good as he normally does. In the anime, it's mentioned that it's 30%. And managed to summon Gamabunta, spit flames enough to burn Manda, used Needle Jizo enough to block Orochimaru's physical attacks, and create a swamp that drowned a giant snake, and was disappointed in it. Also, it's worth mentioning that during the Leaf Destruction arc, when Ibiki and his squad were trying to kill a giant snake, Jiraiya killed it with a simple summoning, the Foot Card Destroyer. Ibisu also stated that Jiraiya would be the only one capable of killing Orochimaru if he attacks the leaf. Let's also not forget that Jiraiya designed a tag that suppresses the 9 tails. You know, the thing Yamato struggled to do when he has freaking wood release. The thing that tames Biju. Also, Jiraiya losing to 4 Tails Naruto is a dumb argument. And I mean really dumb. You hear that, Swakage? It's really dumb. Not only does Jiraiya not want to kill Naruto, he was training with him. Didn't go Sage Mode, was trying to suppress him, focused on his forehead and no other body part. And to debunk Seth the programmer, Jiraiya said that the same aura that heals him harms him, meaning if he harms him more, even his regen abilities would shorten his lifespan. Nice try though. Jiraiya has massive chakra reserves too, which is needed for Sage Mode. I explained it in that video. Also, Itachi and Kisame had to run at the sight of him making a move. It wasn't because Itachi is an ally or something, which I explained in my previous video. Jiraiya is a ninjutsu and taijutsu god. The only category he lacks in is genjutsu, which the toads compensate for. His abilities vary from infiltration, interrogation, capture, sealing, and barriers, which is a lot. He probably also knows about the Reaper Death Seal, considering Orochimaru didn't know about it and Hiruzen learned it from Minato. And who was closer to Minato than Hiruzen was? Jiraiya. In his mission to the Rain Village, we get to see his Sage Mode for the first time. Imperfect or not, it showed a massive difference in strength and even speed. He dropped his shoes, gathered natural energy, conjured a massive Rasengan, jumped on the Preda path, all before his shoe hit the ground. That's not enough to prove how fast he is? Let's take how he destroyed the human path's eyes with one speed kick. How fast is a human path? He was fast enough to sneak right in the middle of two Jonin, who are Shizune and Inoichi, an Ambu, and a Chunin. Ino, by the way. And he was undetected and grabbed Shizune in the process and killed her. Yeah, that's how fast he is. Judging by everything we saw from the pains, the human path is the fastest. Jiraiya only lost that fight because he didn't know about the other pains, which cost him his arm. And then people used the argument of his imperfect sage as an explanation of why he couldn't detect the pain behind him, which is even dumber than the Four Tails argument. If he wasn't a perfect sage, then Fukasaku and Shima were, and even they couldn't detect him. He also used the lion's mane to hold and kill a giant Rinnegan crab. He creates a literal bath of boiling oil that covers the entire battlefield, high-speed Senbon attack using his hair, and a ton of summonings, among which is Gamabunta, who fought the one-tailed beast and managed to pin down a full 9 tails. Keep in mind that only 8 tails of half of Kyuubi broke out of Chibaku Tensei, so yeah, I'd say Chibaku Tensei isn't that big of a deal against Jiraiya. He was also acknowledged by Obito during the war arc as the person who defeated him through his ideals, the ones he passed on to his students. So not only was he a beast in battle, but a man wise enough to cultivate generations that will inherit his will. Call me a Jiraiya tard if you want. I take pride in being the first one given that name on YouTube, but his feats can't possibly be denied. Anyway, I think that's enough proof of Jiraiya's superiority to more than 90% of characters before the 6th path BS. Let me know if you enjoyed or found this video helpful in changing your view on Jiraiya, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.